So the ultimate pin is going to look like this, and there are 4 elements to it. One element is getting Uke's arm onto the ground, and we'll look at that more closely in a moment. The second element of the pin is getting the correct angle of Uke's arm. I'm wrong already. There we go. Getting the correct angle, which is something over 90 degrees. Most people say 95 degrees. We're not measuring with lasers, but it has to be at least 90. At some point, you can't go much higher. We're going to say 95. You can be a little bit more or less. The third point about the technique is how you control Uke's elbow here. And the fourth element of the pin is how you release at the end of the technique. So let's look at each of those in turn. At some point in every Ikkajo technique, you'll end up in a position more or less like this. Uke will be on the ground, the arm will be up on a bit of an angle, your inside knee will be down near Uke's armpit, your outside knee will be against Uke's wrist, and your inside hand will be at the elbow. There are 2 possible variations typically. This variation here is what you'll normally get with shomenuchi, where you're holding the forearm near the wrist. The other variation you may get is holding the back of the hand with the fingers up, which usually happens with the mochi techniques, kitata mochi, or a number of the ushiro techniques. Either way, it's all the same for our purposes today. For convenience, I'm going to use this shomenuchi style here. So at this point, the correct thing to do on the first 2 points are to bring Uke's arm down together with your knee in order to create the 95-degree angle with the arm, with the body. We'll just stop at those 2 points there. Well, everyone knows that that's the correct thing to do. Most people don't actually do that. What they end up doing is they bring the arm down a little bit first, and then they follow with the knee. That is a little bit easier to do. It is more convenient, but it's wrong for at least 2 different reasons. The first reason is that if you bring the arm down first, you will tend to not get the correct 90-degree angle. You'll tend to bring it closer to your body, which will tend to be at best 90 degrees, possibly even less, so you won't have that. And because you brought the arm down first, your body posture is quite forward and you'll be off balance. So not a strong way to do it. The reason, 2 reasons that we want to do the correct movements here. One, if you keep your knee against the wrist, as you go into the seiza, the motion of your knee will help push Uke's wrist so that you end up with the 95-degree pivot. The second reason that you want to keep the wrist against your knee is that if you let Uke's arm go first, you've left a big gap here. Uke can attack you. By contrast, if you keep your knee against the wrist, there's no chance that Uke is going to be able to push against you at that point. And then you will have a good posture for the remainder of the pin.